What's up? What's up? This your boy JG back with another video on music tips and review. I can't even say it. Music tips and reviews with JG. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another beautiful day, a day we never seen before. Again, appreciate y'all for always supporting me. Continue to tell people about my page. So I can get more subscribers to my page. I would love the support. I would graciously love the support. Also, if you want to support my channel, $ jgilzva. That's my cash app. It's on the bottom of the screen. If you want to support. So this is gonna be an interesting night. I've done in the past. My top underrated producers, of all time. So tonight I'm just doing, my top 20 producers of all time. This is just my personal favorites, who has influenced me as a songwriter producer, who has influenced me as far as music is concerned. And it's really inspiring list that I put together, and I hope y'all like my top 20 as well. All of you aspiring songwriters and producers that's out there. It was a time, I guess like around the 2000s, the 90s, 2000s, where you had a group of super producers. You had these the producers had they brand. If you heard a song on the radio, you like, that's they sound. That's Teddy Riley's sound, that's Darkchild sound, that's Pharrell, Neptune sound. And so I'm gonna go through my top 20. This is the first night. I'm gonna go through my top 20 producers. I'm gonna do 20 through 11. Then I'm gonna continue on another night with my 10 through 1. So I tried to rank them, but this is just my straight 20. It's not this producer is better than the other producer, but they all have influenced me, like I said, as a songwriter producer, since I've been starting my music adventures and stuff like that. And it's very inspiring to have somebody you look up to, so you can get better. It encourage you to be better at your craft. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're tuning in, so I'm gonna start with my number 20. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, why you put him on the top 20? All the things he been doing, all the things he did. But this guy, he was the top producer of the 90s, early 2000s. He was the top, as far as producing R&B, even including his own music, his own solo career. And I had to put him on the list, even though a lot of people, they muting his music. I had to put him on the list. And my number 20 is the R Kelly. Even though he did the things he did, he has influenced a whole culture of R&B artists, a whole culture of R&B producers. From the Leah stuff to the gospel. He produced for Trinity 5-7. He just had that authentic R&B sound, and then he can write for Michael Jackson. You Are Not Alone. So he's had an incredible career. It's just sad to see that his career has came to this, being locked up for 30 years. And this it's a lesson to producers and out there that's inspiring to keep your head straight. Don't let things. Don't let temptation. Don't let addictions take the best of you. In life, especially when you climb up the ranks and you get so many calls for your work, for your production. Keep your head towards the goal. And so 20 is R. Kelly. He did so many hits for B2K. I Believe I Can Fly. Just so many songs. Gigolo. He did Gigolo for for Nick Cannon. The TP2 and 12 Play, the first 12 Play. Classic albums. And so that's my 20 R. Kelly. So so he's one of them, very influential in my thought process as far as music is concerned. Just the creativity of R. Kelly was incredible. So I'm gonna go to 19. 19. I'm gonna go with Ninth Wonder. Like even you can go back to J Dilla. That sample and just being in that pocket. I just love the soul he has in his music, especially going back to the music he did for Little Brother. They all from North Carolina. And, Ninth Wonder, he also teaches a class. I believe it's Duke University, if I'm not mistaken. But I just always love the way he used samples. He really brings out the soul of the sample, because a lot, it's a lesson learned. A lot of people sample, but they don't sample the right way. They might use the wrong drums. Like, especially now, we have trap music. Producers, they just add trap on any kind of music, and it's no particular structure. But I love Ninth Wonder. He from that time where sampling was very soulful. With the Kanye West and the Just Blaze and the Alchemist and DJ Premier, all those Pete Rock, all those known sample producers. And Ninth Wonder was one of them. I think he's underrated. I love what he did for Destiny Child. I love Girl. He produced that for Destiny Child, and he produced that off of Fruity Loops. If you don't know, so yeah, my number 19 is Ninth Wonder. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're coming in, so my 20 was R. Kelly. 19 was Ninth Wonder. As far as production. So if you're tuning in, let me know your favorite producers of all time. Who you love as a producer, and it might be on my list as well. This is my 20 through 11. So another night I'm gonna do 10 through 1. So again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. So my number 18 is, I would put him all the way up, but he's influential, but he's kind of been in the back, but 18, and I don't have no particular order, is Rod Temperton. If y'all don't know who Rod Temperton is, really look him up. He produced a lot of great timeless songs. If you like Thriller, he wrote that. If you like just the whole first 2 Michael Jackson albums, his pen is all over those first 2 albums. Rod Temperton. Heat Wave, and the list goes on. He wrote Mystery for Anita Baker. If y'all don't know that song, Mystery. So his catalog is wide range. As far as his catalog. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Rod Temperton is amazing. I think Quincy Jones owed him a lot as far as getting the sound for Michael Jackson, as far as the sonically and the melodic sound of Thriller and Off the Wall. He also wrote Off the Wall as well. So shout out to Rod Temperton. So now my number 17, and a lot of people might not agree because of a lot of stuff he did with his artists, but my number 17 is Diddy. He was always an architect as far as production. He knew which producers to come together, what musicians to come together, what sample and musicians to come together to create these classic songs of the 90s and early 2000s. He created the Hitman with Mario Winans, Stevie J, Rob Lawrence, J-Dub, D-Dot, Chucky Thompson. All these people he put together, created this super production team called the Hitman. And Diddy is the founder of it. So you have to give your props as far as production. He was kind of like the Quincy Jones of the 90s. He know how to put musicians together and created so many classic songs. A lot of songs for like Mace, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, Jodeci. Because when he was with Uptown, he produced Come and Talk to Me. That was his first big song. Production wise is Come and Talk to Me, if I'm not mistaken. And so you have to give your props to Diddy as far as production, architect. He know how to put the pieces together to make a hit record. And if you listen to all that songs, it's always a connection, as far as sonically. So I had to put Diddy up there. And so my number 16 is Tim and Bob. Tim and Bob is underrated as far as R&B. They produce a lot of tracks on Boyz II Men's second album too. They got a lot of huge songs as well. Excuse me. Whew. I had to get that out. Boyz II Men, John B. It is, so, and the list goes on. Tamia, So Into You. And they really played a big part in Bobby V, first album. Slow Down, all those, Angel. And they have a huge list as well. They also did gospel. They did Deidre Hatton album 7 Days. Karen Clark Shears, I'll Be Right Here. I love that song. And I just love the soothingness of their production. They're kind of like a baby Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They production, the sound quality of the production reminds me of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis as far as the production. So that's my number 16. And it wouldn't be no Tim and Bob without Dallas Austin. So that's my number 15. Creep. They did a lot of songs for Boyz II Men when they first came out, off of their first album. But TLC, LaFace, you know, Monica, Pink. You know, he did stuff for Pink as well. And so yeah, he did Michael Jackson album history. So it's a lot of things he's done as well. Dallas Austin. So let me get to my number 14. Scott Storch. Scott Storch, he had a run like the early 2000s. Run It, Let Me Love You, 50 Cent just a little bit. But unfortunately, he fell to drugs and stuff like that. But now he's on the comeback right now. I believe he's gonna come back full force. As far as production, he did Me, Myself, and I, Baby Boy, Naughty Girl for Beyonce, and I love what he did on her first album, Beyonce first album. Just incredible production. Still Dre, he did the keyboards for that. So yeah, Scott Storch is definitely on my list. Really inspired me to just keep grinding, every day, and use my gifts as far as piano, to my advantage. And so Dr. Dre, he played a big part in Scott Storch's career as well. If you say West Coast, you think of Dr. Dre. Snoop, you think Snoop under him. NWA, The Game, 50 Cent, Eminem, you think of Dr. Dre. And that sound, like, even though his production was very simple, but the sound quality of it, the mixing was so incredible. It is so incredible. And so yeah, Dr. Dre is definitely on my list. Huge inspiration to my production as well. I had a little time where my production, I tried to emulate Dr. Dre, the simplicity of his sound, as far as production. And a lot of people, even Timberland looks up to Dr. Dre. Swiss Beats look up to Dr. Dre. And so yeah, so we're gonna get to a heavy one. Number 12, Gamble and Huff. If you don't know Gamble and Huff, do your research. I had to go to their list of hits because they got so many. From the 1960s to all the way up, so many hits. So many hits. I'm trying to find songs I know. Me and Mrs. Jones. If you don't know me not by now, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Backstabbers, OJ, Love Train, OJ's. For the Love of Money. So many hits. Enjoy Yourself by the Jacksons. The list goes on. They did Patti LaBelle too, If Only You Knew. I believe they did that track as well. But yeah, Gamble and Huff is one of my favorite production groups. So I'm gonna go to my number 11, and this is really close to my bracket where I started production. The years I started production myself. Darkchild, Rodney Jerkins, Freddie Jerkins, rest in peace. LaShawn Daniels, that whole camp. But Rodney was kind of the leader of the group, of the production group. But yeah, they really took control of, they really had that run in the late 90s, early 2000s. From Brandy to Joe, I Don't Want to Be a Player No More. Never Say Never album, Full Moon album, just so many classic records they did in the late 90s and early 2000s. Beyonce, Say My Name, Mary J. Blige, I Can Love You, Tony Braxton, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. So Darkchild, they really had a run, and I love the cleanness of the production. I love the big sound that comes from the Darkchild camp. The production was so clean. That's what I learned from their production. It's not just a song, it's like a storyline. So especially Full Moon, I love Full Moon album. They really put their foot in that album. So this is my 20 through 11 of my top 20 producers of all time. So tune in next time for my 10 to 1. So we're gonna hit some heavy producers on this one, on the next one. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. This has been another video from your boy. I said my boy, from your boy JG. All right, peace.